Hi friends, this is FirearmPop, and I'm here today with another edition of Armed Citizen Stories. Again, as usual, this is coming right out of First Freedom magazine, and we're on the page with the Armed Citizen Stories. So, without further ado, let's just get right to reading these stories. Brian Tran, a Vietnamese-American man, was enjoying the 4th of July weekend at a food stand around 1 p.m. when he was approached by a long-haired man wearing camouflage. The man began harassing Tran by making racial remarks and insulting Tran's Vietnamese heritage. He then pulled out a knife and attempted to stab Tran. Lifting his shirt, Tran displayed the pistol he had holstered in his waistband, the firearm he legally carries for protection. The man left upon seeing the firearm, and Tran called 911. The assailant was later arrested and charged with aggravated assault and a hate crime enhanced due to his remarks to Tran. And that was in Secola, Florida. Good for Tran. Two teens began knocking on the back door of a house where a 43-year-old woman was home alone. The woman grabbed a .38 revolver when the teens began to kick the door in. They reportedly entered her kitchen and charged towards her. The resident fired a single shot and one intruder fell to the floor before they both fled through the back door. Later, a juvenile showed up at a local hospital with a gunshot wound to the arm. Both teens were arrested and charged with burglary, and that was in Dayton, Ohio. Excuse me. A 23-year-old woman was parked at a gas station when she received sexual advances from a man she did not know. The woman asked him repeatedly to leave her alone. Surveillance video from the gas station shows the man approaching and the pair arguing. The woman then pulled a rifle from the trunk of a car. Video shows the assailant flashing a knife and trying to hit the woman before she fired. The suspect's wounds proved fatal. That was in Houston, Texas. Injuries sustained to Anthony Wilson's face, torso, arms, and legs was severe, but he was last reported to be in good condition after he was attacked by two dogs in his neighborhood. The dogs escaped from the yard early one afternoon and attacked 77-year-old Wilson. He tried to seek refuge under a pickup truck with little success. The dogs snapped at his legs and continued to bite and claw him, trying to drag him from the protection of the vehicle. A neighbor heard Wilson's cries for help and responded quickly. He saw the dogs attacking. The neighbor retrieved the firearm and attempted to scare the dogs away, but the dogs then turned their attention to the neighbor. He fired, killing both animals. And that was in Dunmore, Pennsylvania. Boy, the elderly just get preyed on by all kinds of people, and this is just absolutely ridiculous. And kudos to the neighbor that came to the rescue of the 71-year-old. Great story. Jerry Brown, 63, was outside his cabin when he spotted a large black bear. The bear was first headed away from Brown, but then turned toward him and attacked. And Brown tried to escape. His brother Randy retrieved the firearm and shot at the bear, causing it to run off. Brown suffered extensive injuries to his face, including the loss of his left eye. It was reported that Brown was in serious but stable condition and recovering from his injuries. And that was in Shell Lake, Wisconsin. The sound of breaking glass in the early hours of the morning woke the resident of a rural home and alerted him to a burglary in progress. The resident armed himself with a pistol and confronted the intruder, who was brandishing a hatchet. After a physical confrontation, the resident fired his pistol. The resident immediately called the police, who arrived to find the suspect in the home, deceased from a single gunshot wound to the chest. And that was in Hudson Lake, Indiana. Residents were at home watching a movie around 11:20 p.m. when several men forced their way into the home through the front door. One of the residents opened fire on the intruders, causing them to flee. One suspect was killed at the scene and another was later found with fatal gunshot wounds in the parking lot of a nearby animal hospital. Police reported what appeared to be the suspect's body was dumped there as the others fled from the home invasion gone bad. None of the residents were harmed during the ordeal, and that was in Jacksonville, Florida. Hallwell and Plumbing Inc. was closed when two suspects broke into the business around 3:15 a.m. The suspect's owner, who lives just down the street from where the robbery was taking place, heard the alarm sounding and quickly responded. When he arrived, he spotted the suspects pushing rolls of copper wire valued at about $5,000. The owner confronted the thieves, which resulted in a scuffle, during which the owner fatally shot one of the suspects. The second suspect died. Suspect fled the scene, but was later arrested and charged with felony breaking and entering, felony larceny, and possession of stolen property. And that was in Reidsville, North Carolina. There you have it, another set of great stories. You know, these days we have to watch out for not only two-legged assailants, but four and four-legged, as far as a bear and dogs. So it's one of the reasons where we always say to be prepared, support the Second Amendment. This is Firearm Pop. Be safe out there, and God bless.